On paper, these teams were supposed to dominate football. World-class players, insane hype, unlimited money, and then it all went horribly wrong. Today, we're talking about 8 super teams that didn't just fail, they collapsed. And trust me, some of these will shock you. Let's start with the original super team disaster, Real Madrid from 2003 to 2006. This was football's Avengers lineup: Figo, Zidane, Ronaldo Nazario, Beckham, Roberto Carlos, Raul. Just saying those names feels illegal. Then they added Michael Owen and Julio Baptista, and everyone thought, yeah, wrap it up, football's finished. Except it wasn't. From 2004 to 2006, Real Madrid didn't win a single trophy, not one. 3 straight seasons empty-handed, something that hadn't happened at the club in 50 years. In the Champions League, they kept falling early. Quarterfinal exit in 2004, then back-to-back round of 16 knockouts. Against Juventus in 2005, 1 goal across 2 legs. That's it. And while Madrid were busy flexing star power, Barcelona were over there, winning La Liga titles and lifting the Champions League. Here's where it really fell apart. Madrid cared more about names than balance. Claude Makelele, one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, asked for a small raise. Madrid said no and sold him. The club president even said he'll be forgotten. Chelsea signed him and won the Premier League twice. Madrid won nothing. Let that sink in. 5 managers in 3 years, all trying to cram Galacticos into systems that just didn't work. And the low point, a 6-1 Copa del Rey humiliation against Zaragoza. Painful, embarrassing, unforgettable. Florentino Perez resigned in 2006. Yes, the brand exploded, the money rolled in, but football-wise, total failure. Too many stars, no structure, and a brutal reminder that collecting talent doesn't mean you'll actually win games. Quick question for you. Do you think this Galacticos era is the biggest what if in football history, or was it always doomed? This was the reboot, the reset. The season Real Madrid tried to buy their way back to the top. Florentino Perez returned, opened the vault, and went full Galactico again. Cristiano Ronaldo for a world record fee. Kaká, Benzema, Xabi Alonso, Albiol, Arbeloa, nearly 250 million euros spent in one summer. It felt like football had entered a new era overnight. On paper, terrifying. In reality, not ready. Manuel Pellegrini was given the keys and one simple demand: win everything. And to be fair, Madrid weren't bad. They finished with 96 points in La Liga. 96, that usually wins you the league. The problem? Barcelona were even better. Pep's Barca dominated Spain and Europe, while Madrid played catch-up all season. No trophies, second place, and no patience. Then came Europe. And this is where it really stung. Champions League round of 16, Lion again. For the 6th straight year, Real Madrid failed to get past the round of 16. This time, it was worse. A 1-0 loss in France, a 1-1 draw at the Bernabeu, and another early exit. All that money, all that hype, same result. Cristiano scored goals. Xabi controlled midfield, Benzema struggled, Kaká never really took off, and tactically the team looked unfinished. Too many new pieces, not enough time, no clear identity yet, and that was the real issue. This squad wasn't a failure because of talent, it failed because it was rushed. Super teams don't click overnight, and Madrid demanded instant success. Pellegrini was sacked after 1 season. Jose Mourinho arrived. Structure replaced chaos, and only then did the project actually start working. So here's the irony, this Real Madrid team wasn't bad at all. But when you spend that much, expectations don't care about context. Now let's talk about the most expensive failure football has ever seen, PSG from 2021 to 2023. Because when this squad was announced, be honest, you thought the Champions League was already theirs. Messi arrived for free, the greatest player ever, just sitting on the market. Then came Sergio Ramos, a serial Champions League winner. Donnarumma, fresh off carrying Italy at the Euros. Wijnaldum, a proven big game midfielder. And Hakimi, already the best right back on the planet. All of that joining Neymar and Mbappé. It looked unfair, like someone turned career mode settings to easy. And the money? Absurd. PSG's wage bill hit 728 million euros, the highest in football history. They didn't just break records, they smashed them. That's more cash than most of us will see in a lifetime. So if you're still broke like me, smash that like button and subscribe. At least here we can all dream big. So what went wrong? Pretty much everything. The cracks showed early. Penalty drama. Mbappé misses one, demands the next. Neymar says no. Dressing room arguments. Social media shots fired. Sergio Ramos playing peacemaker instead of center back. And tactically, a mess. No pressing, no balance. PSG defended with 8 and attacked with 4. It worked in League 1 because individual talent bailed them out. But Europe doesn't forgive that stuff. And then came that night. Champions League 2022. PSG are 2-0 up on aggregate against Real Madrid. Comfortable, relaxed. And then Karim Benzema happens. A hat trick in 17 minutes. 2 goals in just 106 seconds. One striker outscored the most expensive attack ever assembled. Season over. Next year, same story. Round of 16 exit again. Messi leaves, Neymar leaves, Mbappé eventually leaves. The so-called dream team is gone, with 0 Champions League finals to show for it. Now here's the part that hurts the most. In 2025, PSG finally won the Champions League. First one ever. They destroyed Inter Milan 5-0 in the final. And guess what? Not a single player from that 728 million euro super team is there. Even the PSG president admitted it. The stars now play for the team, not the other way around. Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho. This was supposed to be dominance. Instead, it was total chaos. United went into that season with serious hype. Cristiano Ronaldo returned home. Rafael Varane arrived fresh off winning everything with Real Madrid. Jadon Sancho finally joined after years of chasing him. On paper, this looked like a title-challenging squad. Some fans were even whispering about the Champions League. Reality hit hard. The football was disjointed from day one. No clear system, no identity. Big names, but zero chemistry. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tried to keep everyone happy, and in doing so, nothing actually worked. Then came the breaking point. Humiliating defeats, including heavy losses to rivals, and a disastrous 4-1 loss to Watford that ended Ole's reign. Ralf Rangnick came in as the professor to fix things. High press, modern football, control. What followed was confusion. Players looked lost. Pressing was half-hearted. Defending was optional. United conceded goals for fun and got outplayed by teams with half their budget. Cristiano Ronaldo was basically carrying the attack on his back. Without his goals, this season could have gone from embarrassing to catastrophic. And that says everything. Remember, this was a super team. In Europe, they limped into the Champions League knockout stages, then got brushed aside by Atletico Madrid. No fight, no control, just another early exit. Domestically, they finished with their lowest points total in the Premier League era, scraping 6th place and calling it a success. No trophies, no progress, just vibes, frustration, and leaks from the dressing room about unhappy players. What went wrong? Same old story. Big signings without a plan, stars added before structure, names before balance. United tried to fast-track success by stacking talent, but football doesn't work like that. This one wasn't just a failure. This was a billion-pound science experiment. When Todd Bailey and Clearlake took over Chelsea in 2022, they promised a smart, data-driven future. What fans actually got was the wildest spending spree football has ever seen. Chelsea didn't just rebuild, they hit reset on the entire club. In just over 3 years, Chelsea spent around £1.4 billion and signed close to 50 players. UEFA even confirmed it. This became the most expensive squad ever assembled in football history. No one had ever tried anything like this before. Here's how they did it. Long, ridiculously long contracts. Enzo Fernandez for 8.5 years, Mudryk for 8, Caicedo for 8 with an option for 9. The idea, spread the transfer fees over time, stay legal with financial rules, and spend like there's no tomorrow. On paper, it was genius. On the pitch, absolute chaos. Thomas Tuchel was sacked just months into the project. Graham Potter followed, then Frank Lampard came. back as interim, and Chelsea somehow finished 12th, mid-table, with a squad that cost more than some leagues combined. By the time Pochettino arrived, Chelsea were already on their 4th manager. He lasted 1 season. His replacement became the 5th head coach in 3 years. No stability, no rhythm, just constant resets. Some signings summed it all up. Mudryk cost around 70 million euros, rising close to 100. After 58 games, he had just 10 goals. Then came a provisional doping suspension. Disaster. But here's where it gets interesting. Out of all that madness, something finally clicked. Chelsea quietly signed Cole Palmer for 40 million, and he turned into a superstar. Goals, assists, clutch moments. He joined a very short Premier League list, 20 plus goals and 10 plus assists in a single season. Under Enzo Maresca, Chelsea stabilized. 4th place. Champions League qualification, then trophies followed. Conference League winners, Club World Cup winners. Chelsea even became the first club ever to win all 5 major European trophies. So, was the experiment a success? Maybe, but it took 1.6 billion, 5 managers, and 3 years of pure chaos to get there. The trophies say it worked. The journey says this model survives on risks no other club could afford. This was the season Barcelona finally collapsed under their own weight. For years, Barca tried to replace Messi's magic with money, and by 2019-20, the bill came due. Griezmann, Coutinho, Dembélé, over 400 million euros spent on attackers alone. On paper, this was still a super team. Messi at his peak, Suarez up front, Busquets, Piqué, Ter Stegen, experience everywhere. But behind the scenes, total dysfunction. The football was slow, predictable, painfully reliant on Messi to save them every single week. If Messi didn't do something special, Barcelona looked ordinary. Managers came and went. Ernesto Valverde was sacked mid-season despite being top of La Liga. Quique Setién came in preaching Barca DNA and lost the dressing room almost immediately. Then came that night. Champions League quarterfinal, 1-leg tie, neutral ground, Bayern Munich. What followed wasn't a defeat. It was a humiliation, 8-2. Let that number sit for a second. Barcelona conceded more goals in one game than they had in entire Champions League campaigns before. Bayern stopped celebrating out of pity. It exposed everything. An aging squad, no intensity, no pressing, a club run by politics instead of football decisions. Even the players looked shocked at how bad it had become. Domestically, they lost La Liga to Real Madrid. In Europe, they became a global meme overnight. And financially, disaster. Massive wages, declining assets, and contracts they couldn't escape. That 8-2 wasn't just a loss. It was the end of an era. Within a year, Messi was gone. The greatest player in their history walked away because the club around him was broken. This one hurts, especially if you remember what Milan used to be. AC Milan weren't just a big club, they were European royalty. But by 2009-10, the badge still scared people, the team didn't. On paper, the names were insane. Ronaldinho, Pirlo, Seedorf, Nesta, Pato, Thiago Silva, even David Beckham showed up again. It felt like a Legends match mixed with a title push. But here's the problem. Most of these guys were either past their peak, injured, or trying to relive old magic. Milan started the season with hype, but the cracks showed quickly. The pace was slow, the midfield couldn't run, defensively they relied on experience instead of energy. And in modern football, that's a death sentence. Domestically, they were miles off the top. Inter, under Mourinho, were ruthless. Milan finished 3rd in Serie A, never really in the title race, watching their city rivals march toward a historic treble. In Europe, things were even worse. Champions League round of 16. Manchester United, and it wasn't close. Milan lost 4-0 on aggregate. No fight, no comeback. Just a reminder that the gap between nostalgia and reality had become massive. Ronaldinho had moments. Pirlo tried to control games. Pato showed flashes of what could have been. But moments don't win trophies. Systems do. And Milan didn't have one. This season exposed a harsh truth. Milan were living off their past. Big names were masking a lack of planning, investment, and renewal. Instead of evolving, they tried to hold on to memories. It would take years for Milan to recover from this era. Years outside the Champions League. Years of rebuilding from the ground up. Here's a super team that came in hot. but left a lot of fans asking what just happened. After dominating Europe in the previous season and bringing in Kylian Mbappé to form a crazy attack with Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid looked like they were going to keep steamrolling everything. Expectations were massive. La Liga, the Champions League, all of it. Instead, the season turned into one of their most frustrating campaigns in years. On the pitch, Madrid didn't win a major trophy. They ended up runner-up in La Liga, lost finals in domestic cups, and failed to go deep enough in Europe, departing the Champions League earlier than the club demands. The only silverware they lifted were the UEFA Super Cup and the FIFA Intercontinental Cup. Respectable, but nowhere near what this squad was built for, and that's where the pain comes in. This team was stacked. On paper, they had world-class attackers, a midfield that could control games, and a squad that looked like a title machine. But injuries piled up, massive ones to key defenders and attackers alike, which wrecked rhythm and forced endless tactical tinkering. Defensively, they leaked goals. Chemistry was shaky at times, and crucial clashes, especially against Barcelona and Atletico, slipped through their fingers. By the end, fans weren't just disappointed, they were confused. A team this talented should dominate, not limp to a second-place finish. Off the field, champions of confidence turned into critics in the stands. Some supporters called it one of Madrid's most disappointing seasons in a decade because of the gap between expectations and reality. Which one shocked you the most? PSG's billion-euro flop or Real Madrid's endless Galacticos drama? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I want to hear it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any crazy football stories.